Hello there, fourth grade. Today we're going to be reviewing a math lesson. It's day 3 with subtracting across zeros. Now I know you guys love to say, for example, you always do this to me. 200 take away 123. And you know what I'm going to say, because I know that you always do this. You make this error. 0 minus 3 in the ones. This is what sometimes you guys do. 3. 0 take away 2. You say it's a 2. And 2 minus 1, well, that's correct. It's a 1. 4, 3. This is incorrect. You can't take a bigger number from a smaller number. So let's be very careful on how we answer these following problems. We do not take a big number from a small number. All right, let's get started. 3,000 take away 1,293. Now guys, the reason why I'm making a review video on just subtracting across zeros, and I didn't do it for day 2 where we're adding numbers, because I feel like that we really need to review with the zeros. And just like I previously said, many of you say that we still can subtract a big number from a small number. We cannot do that. We need to be borrowing. So let's begin. So 0 minus 3 we cannot do. So I go to the tens, and the tens have the same problem. It's having a bigger number trying to take away from a smaller number, so we can't do that. So we're going to go into the hundreds and see if we can borrow something from the hundreds. And we can't, because we're taking a big number from a small number. So we need to go to the thousands and call on him. Say, yo, thousands, you got some place value discs that we can borrow? Remember when we did the place value disc chart? Well, I think we have grew up from the place value chart, and I think we can regularly subtract. So we need to go to the thousands and borrow 1,000. So when we do that, I'm taking away, crossing out the 3, and we're making this a 2. Then we go into the hundreds, and we give some to the hundreds. But remember, the tens needs it also, so we need to borrow from the hundreds. And we take away 1 from them, and we're left with a 9. So now we're left with 10 hundredths. But then remember the 10 tens, but remember the ones need help also. So we're going to take away 1 there, and we're left with 9 tens. And then we're giving 1 more here, so that becomes 10 ones. Now we're able to subtract. So let's look at this. 10 minus 3, we can do. 9 minus 9, we can do. 9 minus 2, and then 2 minus 1. So now we're able to solve. So let's 10 minus 3, we get a 7. 9 minus 9 is 0 tens. And in the hundreds, we have 9. Take away 2 is 7 hundredths. 2 minus 1 gives us 1,000. So the answer is 1,707. All right, the next one is 8,000 take away 379. So looking at this again, we cannot subtract the ones, the tens, or the hundreds. So we need to call on help from the thousands. Hey, yo, thousands, you got something that we could help us subtract? You got some numbers to spare? And I think he does, because he has 8 thousands. And we have no thousands over here. He has plenty enough to share with the zeros. So we're going to subtract. Take away 1,000, and we're left with 7,000. Give there 10, and we have 10 hundredths. So we're taking 100 away, and we're left with 9 hundredths. Then we got to give 1 to the tens, which now we have 10 tens, but we need to take away a 10. Now we're left with 9 tens. Now we need to give a 10 to the ones. So now we're able to subtract. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 7 is 2. 9 minus 3 is 6. And 7,000 take away no thousands is 7,000. So we have an answer of 7,621. Now, guys, if you want to check your work, which would be so great, we do the inverse operation. And the inverse operation of subtraction is addition. So we can take this number and add it with this number. So let's try it. 7,621 plus 379. 1 plus 9 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus the 7 is 10. 1 plus 6 is 7 plus the 3 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. So look at that. We have a check of an answer of 8,000, which matches this one on the top, 8,000. Continuing on with 5,000, take away 2,216. Again, we're running into the same problem. Cannot subtract the ones, the tens, or the hundreds because they have zeros on the top. We need to call to the thousands and ask if he has anything to spare, and of course he does. So let's start borrowing from our thousands. Take away 1,000, we're left with 4,000, which gives our hundreds a 10. So now it's 10 hundredths, but we need to take away one because the tens need help. So we're left with 9 hundredths. Give one here to the tens. We're left with 10 tens, but we need to take one away. So we're left with 9 tens because the ones need some help. So we have 10 ones, take away 6, which would give us 4. 9 minus 1 gives us 8. 8 tens. 9 take away 2 gives us 700. And then in the thousands, 4 take away 2 is 2,000. So our answer is 2,784. And we can check. And how do we check? We take our answer, we do the inverse operation, which is addition, and we add it to this number. So 2,784 plus 2,216, we get 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9 plus 1 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 7 is 8 plus the 2 is another 10. And 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 2 is 5. Well, look at that. We have a checked answer of 5,000, which matches 5,000 here. Ha ha ha, I'm Mr. Zero, and I don't think you have what it takes to master subtracting across zeros. Try to defeat me. Ha 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 ha. All right, guys, you heard him. Try to defeat Mr. Zero by subtracting across these zeros. 3,000, take away 995. And guys, I'd like to see you do the inverse operation and check this so you know you didn't get it wrong. Okay, last one. 6,000, take away 2,386. And of course, let's go. Let's try to subtract across these zeros. Try to defeat Mr. Zero. Show him who's the boss. All right, and I'd like to see your inverse operations. Try to do some checking to see if you get it right. There should be no way you're getting these wrong if you're checking your work. Ha-ha! Good try there, 4th grade. You may have defeated me. We'll see in a little bit. Always remember, subtracting across zeros can be a tricky thing. I hope you all checked. Take care.